Good morning. This is to celebrate you. I now have 40 subscribers to my YouTube channel. Yay! Okay. Thank you for subscribing or just watching and not subscribing, whatever. I appreciate it. And my name is Karen Brake, and I'm here to talk about my journey into leiomyosarcoma, which I was diagnosed with back in June of 2021. And I had a hysterectomy and the removal of a piece of my omentum and a little bit of my peritoneum. And then from there on, I was NED up until recently. So I went this past week and had my scans, and I'm all NED in my chest and my abdomen and my pelvis, mostly. Okay, so a couple weeks ago, mid-October, I found a lump, and I sent a picture of it. My husband is my photographer. He takes my glamour shots, and he took a picture of it, and we sent it off to Mayo. And they are like, all we can do is see the picture, and we think it looks benign. Don't worry about it. Well, 3 weeks later, took another picture, and at that point, I was scheduled for my scans, like within days. And the doctor said, my oncologist said, I'm going to schedule you for an appointment while you're up here because I want to see it and what's going on. So he squeezed us in between scans, and he looked at it and said, "Oh, that's coming out. That's no good." I'm like, okay. So during these scans, if I have any other no good nicks, you have to deal with that too. And turns out there are two. And so he's going to remove them both on Monday. I 100% appreciate his sense of urgency, and he actually admonished me a little for not being more forceful in my making an appointment with him. And so, lessons learned. Don't ever have your doctor admonish you, because that's no good. Anyway, then I had another appointment at the end of the day with my oncologist, and he ended up having to call because the scans weren't ready for my appointment. But he called the next day and said, I'm NED everywhere else. So, yay. Yay, yay. And so it's just this surgery on Monday to take care of those two lesions, and then I'll be good. Now it is difficult because it is where I sit up front, and it hurts when I sit. So he recommended some lidocaine. And so he called in a prescription, and my husband went up and picked it up at Publix, and it came in a cough medicine bottle with about that much on the bottom. And I have to tip it and wait, and wait, and wait. I'm like, a cough medicine bottle for lidocaine? I'm like, what happened to little tubes? I have one little tube, sample tube, and I don't know about this whole bottle of lidocaine. Anyway, I assume that if they could put it in something else, they would have. So we're just gonna go with it and hope for the best. So no golf this week because, you know, it hurts. And the walking wouldn't hurt me. It would be the sitting in the golf cart that hurts. So I'm not going to golf this week. But my husband's out playing tennis now, and he played tennis yesterday. He's golfing. And a couple months after my diagnosis, he got his own cancer diagnosis. His is polycythemia vera. And it's a kind of leukemia. It is manageable with medications, but it is likely the reason he had his carotid become an issue, and he had a TIA a couple months ago, and it was probably about that. but he's fine, he's active, and now he has to phlebotomize. So he has to give blood, and because he's overproducing red blood cells, white blood cells, and uh, platelets. So he'll be managing that by giving blood. If it comes to it, he'll need some medication maybe, but it is totally manageable, and he'll be fine. Um, and then, let's see, and then someone else in my family was diagnosed with AFib. Now, I didn't know much about AFib, but all this sickness, man, this has got to stop. This has got to stop because we have too much life to live down here in the villages. There's way too much to do, and we don't have time for this. So anyway, we are thankful that with my cancer, it's as easy as it is, because for me, I just lay there and they cut it out. They cut it out. So I'm thankful for my doctor and doctors, and most especially my best caregiver, my husband. He takes glamour shots of my um, place, my lump, um, and he fixes my coffee and makes my food and dinner and is very concerned, and it's a blessing to have him. So thank you, James. Thank you for all of your prayers and all of your good thoughts. They all count. And I'm just so blessed to have so many people that care about me and join my YouTube channel. Yay, thank you. I think the next video I do will probably be post-surgery. Now, Friday I have my pre-op appointment. So I'm going to be spending 5 hours in a car for probably a 10-minute appointment, but they won't do it by Zoom. They can't have a local doctor do it, so I have to drive. We'll be driving up there Friday and then driving home. And then I have an appointment with Florida cancer specialist on Saturday. And then Sunday we're driving back up because I have to take a COVID test prior to my surgery on Monday. But then Monday, when my surgery's over, I'll go into recovery and then be swept off to come home and handle all my recovery from here. And but the doctor just said, and additional information that I found on the web about how to recuperate from this is a lot of laying down and standing and not sitting. So I'm all for that. And I'll get healed up, and I hope to be back on the tennis courts in January. Dr. Atia, who is my oncologist, wants to sort of kick up my scans to every 2 months for a while, and so we'll be journeying up to Mayo in Jacksonville often, like every 2 months, and from there I'll post as after each scan, and this next week I'll post again. But thank you for following, and hope you found it interesting at the very least. So thank you, and thank you for joining my YouTube channel.